Hey y'all, welcome back to Convos with Bree. I'm Bree, Bree, and today is day 56 of the Visibility Challenge. Today, I want to talk about trusting the flow of your own life a little more deeply. I have quite a few people right now that are really learning to lean into this more with me. And I'm so grateful for them because every time we've planned something and we have, I've known, like, okay, let me give you this example. Earlier this week, I was supposed to have some work done with a friend, and I knew it wasn't going to work out. I'm talking like I was out on Tuesday, I believe it was, with a friend of mine, a different friend. And I just had this feeling come over me that the person I was supposed to do this work with was struggling with wanting to force herself to do the work this week when it wasn't meant to be this week. It just wasn't aligned. I think that there were multiple factors on both sides that were involved. And I've never noticed it so clearly like this. So I ended up saying out loud to my friend in that moment, hey, this isn't going to happen this week. And I've never been so sure of it. I'm saying it out loud because that is where I often struggle. The minute I say something out loud, it's like the energy changes. And then whatever I was feeling ends up being wrong. And that has made me struggle with believing in myself and trusting these feelings. So I wanted to say it out loud in a different way. And I just said, and that's okay. She's struggling right now, and I'm trying to let her know out loud that that's okay. And I want to see if she feels this energy. And the next day, I woke up and I missed a message from her that I don't know how I missed, but I didn't see it until the next day. She literally sent me this message within the half hour that I had voiced that out loud and said, I feel so guilty, but I'm not going to be able to get to that today. And I messaged her back and I said, oh my God, this is so cool because I actually knew I could feel this happening. Like, don't feel guilty at all. This is teaching me huge detrimental things that I need to know this week. And I felt like it would happen on Thursday, but that it wasn't written in the stars yet, and that there was a chance it wouldn't happen at all this week, and that it would just get away from both of us, and it wouldn't be a fitting thing to occur this week. And then I just got really, really present in every day. And I would check into this energy and I would check into her and I would ask, is this happening this week? And my body just said, no, we need time to process what we've already taken on. You're not in a space to receive. And this morning, I woke up to a message where this week has just gotten away from her. And once again, she was expressing how guilty she felt about not being able to get to this and how she's never had to cancel something like this before and how she was struggling with that, even though she knows I am not the place to struggle with that. Like, I'm good. So I wrote her a message back saying, no guilt. I needed this as well. And you are teaching me huge things this week. I honestly cannot take it in this week. We've had so many awesome, unexpected things happen. I have just been fully immersed in my life. And this weekend, I have so many unexpected things that have come up that I am going to be lost in. I am so looking forward to. I have no energy for what we were supposed to do this week either. And I encouraged her to lean into this trust with me more. Instead of leaning into guilt, I want her also to lean into trust. Because even when we first started talking about what we wanted to come out of this thing that we're building together, it was a deeper understanding of both of ourselves. It was a deeper understanding of energy. It was a deeper understanding of where we're going and where we are right now. And so many people, I see them focus on where something didn't go as planned. And they allow themselves to feel so thrown off by that and hurt and very like let down, disappointed in the fact that it didn't. And I used to be like that very much so to my core. And what happened was it started with such small things. Like I'm talking when I was a kid. If my mom promised me we were going to Toys R Us and then we didn't go to Toys R Us, like something came up and we couldn't go. I just felt like my entire life was just, I can't trust you. My life is over. Like you promised. Promises mean nothing. And I took it so hard and so personally. And I've seen in greater circumstances where that energy and that mentality that I learned along the way, if somebody breaks a promise, they can't be trusted. That was actually killing so many of my relationships. And it was creating pressure on myself and on them in a way that allowed us zero space to flow, zero space to trust the unfolding of our lives because sometimes things just no longer feel aligned in the moment. We don't know why. We don't we don't know if we can do it and we just force ourselves instead of being able to say, I know that we discussed this, but I really can't. I just don't feel it. And I didn't really understand this until I really started diving into energy and I started changing the way that I held people accountable. Yes, there are times when this is just, you're picking your kid up from daycare. You can't be like, oh, I've just decided I don't want to do that today. Obviously, there's a difference between responsibility and flowing. But there are so many areas of our lives where we should allow each other more freedom to flow, but we do not. And we should be more, able to ebb and flow with change, but we're not. And I made it a mission to start leaning into the flow and not only for myself, but allowing others to also lean into their own personal flow. And I just trust that everything will work out exactly as it's supposed to. And the more that I have leaned into that, the more magical my moments have become. Even the other day, we had friends that were coming into town a week ago, and we made arrangements to go see them and redid our schedule to match theirs. And then their RV broke down, and they weren't able to even make a plan with us from that point on. Every time they thought, this is it, it wasn't. And last night, they made it and it was all on a whim. It was all on the fly. They were like, "Oh my gosh, it's fixed. We're on our way. Can you meet us?" And we made it happen and it all came together beautifully. We had the absolute best time with them. It was so perfect, so magical. It actually worked even better with our flow for today. It was just great and everything worked out. And it's all just because we let it and we showed up and we trusted the process. And it's just been a really magical, magical place to learn. And Now, instead of allowing anyone to feel guilty about needing to reschedule or needing to push things back, I encourage them to just be honest and be in their life and to just trust with me that it will all work out as it should. It will all come together as it should. And the more that I lean into that, the more I am tested. I will say, the more things I think are concrete and will happen, and then life shows me this is a place to learn. So I'm going to change the course on you. I am going to test your faith. I'm going to test the words you're saying and the feelings you're feeling. And I'm going to see if you truly believe that. And I truly think that that is life saying, are you really? Are you really this version of yourself? Or were you only that version in an easy lesson, in an easier moment? How are you when the pressure's on a bit? How are you when you know that this thing you really want may not happen? Will you still go with the flow? Will you still trust? And the more I am tested, the more I prove it, the more I see it. I'm not just proving this to life, I'm proving this to myself. And it's really helping me understand internally that I am this version of myself consistently and all the way through. The things about myself that used to make me struggle no longer make me struggle. I no longer have to question myself. I no longer have to carry and haul this old baggage around with me like I used to. I set it all down because I understand. I understand more deeply than I ever did before. And that, y'all, that's magic. It feels so good. I did write a new blog up on convoswithbree.com. It's called Trusting the Flow. And there are some reflection questions for yourself on there. It is about trusting yourself more, but it is in word form. It does not look like anything I said today. So if you would like a little deeper dive on it, head on over to convoswithbree.com. I've also been redoing the website and implementing changes with my new knowledge of website building that I've just been learning along the way. Let me know what you think of it. I poured my heart and soul into that. And I'm constantly making little updates. So if there's anything you see that could be, if you didn't understand something or if something wasn't working quite right, let me know because I am constantly doing upgrades to it. I love that I learned a skill that I never thought I would be able to learn. And I just didn't quit. I just kept trying and kept going. And anything that I can do to make that even better, I just appreciate your help and your advice and your thoughts on it. So thank you so much for being here, y'all. Convoswithbree.com. Book a convo, free to reflection. You can watch some other videos on my visibility challenge. I just appreciate y'all so much, and I love y'all for being here. Remember, nothing that is meant for you will miss you. Be here now.